Hi everybody, welcome back to Thrift Witch. I have a pretty large haul here for you today from an estate sale that I attended on the weekend. There is so much stuff here on the table that I'm going to have to move it as we go through it so we can talk about it. So let's get started. First item is this folk art painted conch mushroom. I've seen a few of these. This one is particularly nice, I think, because it has a really nice folky painting. In the background you see a bridge and a church and a winter scene with the sky, and in the foreground you see a spring scene with a nest with eggs and some butterflies and a bee. The piece is mounted on a little piece of oak, and I think just a really nice example, and no damage, just a little dusty. So that's a lovely folk art piece. Next up is this tooled leather purse. A little bit of scratching, but really in really nice condition with a braided leather handle. I've been keeping an eye out for these vintage purses, and this one has this nice stamped star pattern. So this estate sale that we went to, the story that we were told by the estate sale company is that this was a gentleman who had gone to now to a retirement or nursing home, and this was the contents of his home. He had actually lost his wife several years ago and moved to a new home and brought all of her things with him. So everything you see here is a lot of this is probably pieces she made or things that she had kept. And so I just sort of think it's kind of our job to sort of honor that a little bit and, you know, find these things new homes and people that will appreciate them the way he appreciated those things that belonged to his wife. So here is a fur hat, a lady's fur cap. There you go. It's a little small for my head. I have a big head. But it's a nice condition. Doesn't smell like mothballs, etc. A nice fur piece. I'm not for killing fur-bearing animals anymore, but vintage pieces, I don't really have a problem dealing in them. Here we have a somewhat vintage Christmas stocking with a nice scene of Frosty and a reindeer and a bunny. It's very sweet. Vintage piece of macrame in a nice green color, wall hanging from a hoop. So a smaller vintage piece of macrame, which is kind of nice and a nice color. This piece was on the mantle in the living room. I'm just trying to be careful with it because it's a bit delicate. This is a handmade or homemade sailing ship. I'm just going to be careful with it, sorry. So it says its name is Gaspé 64, so that would lead me to believe that this was made in 1964. It's in pretty good condition. The front sail looks like it's been repaired a bit here to reattach it. I think because that piece of wood is under a bit of tension. So, but this is really sweet. Very light and delicate. It also says Gaspé 64 on the other side as well. So I'll just set that down on the floor. There we go. Some unfinished or unframed pieces of needlework that were there. This boy with a kitten. Some birds on branches with leaves. And a boy or girl with a dog. Also, this really nice crib quilt or a smaller quilt. I know there's a name for these bonnet ladies. It's in nice condition. There is one spot where there's a bit of wear away, but it's still a lovely little quilt. So I picked it up in the bundle. So how this worked similarly to other estate sales I've gone to is once we had a pile of items, then we negotiated with the estate sale manager for an overall price. So when I go through and price these things for sale, I sort of just figure out how many total items I had, and then I divide it reasonably per item, and that's approximately how I know how much I paid per item. Just like an auction sale, an estate sale, or a yard sale is a great opportunity to get a whole bunch of items at once, probably for a lower price because you're bundling. So I would say if you can find good estate sales and auction sales and yard sales to go to, that is the way to minimize your cost for goods and maximize your potential profit. Okay, next up is this really sweet cookie jar. It says cookies over the front door. It is marked Elbro, Japan. Really nice, vibrant colors, pinks and blues and greens. It's in lovely condition, no chips or cracks. It does have crazing, which you would expect for a piece of its age. It was quite dirty, so once I cleaned it up with soap and water, it actually really kind of came to life and shined. Some pieces of needlework at the back here. This is a piece done in blue, sort of like, you know, Delphtian style, with the windmill and the sailing boat at the front. Behind that we have a lovely vibrant needlework piece with a scene of probably a cottage at a lake edge in reds and some vibrant blues. This smaller needlework of an orange and yellow rose. And this nice piece of needlework, which I think is crewel. I don't know my needlework. Framed lovely with these really pretty flowers. Life is fragile, handle with prayer. I don't really buy religious items, however, I would consider that decorative, and the flowers really, and the butterfly, I really felt like it was worth taking. The rest of the items are in these totes. So in the basement, this gentleman, I think he was a machinist. He had all kinds of precision tools, metrology tools. My significant other actually bundled together a bunch of items for himself as well as to sell out of the basement. And I took these two totes, these two wooden tool totes. You know, what people do, you can use them as a tote, or what you can do with them is use them decoratively in your home. So I think this one's the nicer of the two in the dark green. And, you know, it's got that vintage beat up look that we all seem to like. So some things in this tote, I did pick up a few vintage tools, hammers, and handles. My dad likes these, so I will actually probably pass these off to him. So there was 3 small hammers. Here we have a really nice foil-backed paperweight with mallard ducks taking off from a lake. It needs a little cleaning up on the bottom, but that's a nice condition vintage paperweight. Here we have a cutie pie. He is a bulldog. And like some other pieces we've found around, he actually has a town on him, Lachute, Quebec, Canada. So I've had pieces from Smiths Falls and other towns, and it seems like little stores in those towns would buy touristy items like this, and people would pick them up to commemorate their visit to that town. He's got a bit of an alarming face, but he's a cutie. I guess there was a file on the bottom of this. This little guy here, unfortunately he has been broken and repaired. He's a hound on a little dish, Japan. I didn't see that he was repaired, but I mean, overall, I'm not too upset. He's a cute little piece, and I'm sure I didn't, per item, pay very much for him. And then a vintage piece of Tupperware. I think this is a keeper for cutlery. It's in very nice condition, clean, and everybody loves that avocado green. A couple pieces of craft work, 2 bunnies, a girl bunny and a boy bunny. So I will save those for Easter. Very cute. In this tote, I took a couple pieces of swan chalk, Crayola swan chalk, a nice brass plum bob. So like, yeah, so you drop it or you hang it to find, to level or to find plum. I guess that's what I think it is. Brass. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Another little piece of needlework, nicely framed. It'll sell in the store. A little piece of chalkware, a little bit of damage, but it says "Good Luck Canada," and it has a horseshoe as well as a lucky turkey bone and the 4-leaf clover, so that's cute. Thought that was sweet. A couple more vintagey Easter items. This little bunny and this little nest with the pipe cleaner chick on the nest, which I thought was sweet. This little piece is an old transferware plate. It says the pet lamb, and it doesn't have a maker's mark on the back that I can really make out. It's probably English, and it is quite old and collectible. It would be considered a child's plate, with the scene with the girl feeding the pet lamb from the dish. And then this here with the tartan pattern on it is a little vintage, and I'll open it up and show you. This was up in the bedroom with the clothes. There was a lot of amazing stuff at this estate sale, more than we could ever cart away. So it's a little dresser set. So there's a mirror and a comb and some compacts. Basically I don't think it was ever used. So nice little vintage piece. And then here, hiding in the corner, is Snow White and her 7 dwarfs. These are 1993 Mattel cake toppers or little PVC plastic toys. All 7 dwarfs are there. Dwarfs. Man, it's just like Maple Leaf. So like if you live in Canada and you don't pay attention and you watch hockey, you're gonna learn that it's Leafs, but it's really leaves. And so I think it's Snow White and the 7 dwarfs, but should it be dwarfs? That's what happens. Pop culture messes with us. So they're all there, that little set. And so and besides this, I also got a nice set of 4 whiskey and 4 tumbler Dominion glass barware with like a nautical theme. It's packed away because it's delicate. And 2 whiskey Dominion glass horse themed vintage barware with the gold and black decoration. So overall, this was a really awesome estate sale. I can't say anything more about the lovely people that ran the sale. And you know, like I said, I think it's kind of like our job in a way when these things happen to give these items new life and people who will appreciate them. And so that's what the idea is. So thank you for watching the channel. If there's anything here you're interested in, drop us a note and let us know. If there's something here I misidentified and you know more than I do, please do comment and let me know. We're always looking to learn, and we really appreciate you. Thank you.